Hey everyone, it is Pixel, and I am here with the game Seer's Isle, which is another choose-your-own-story game, but I'm hoping that it has a really good story behind it. Seems awesome so far. Then that's just the title screen, so... Alright, here we go. Seer's Isle is an interactive graphic novel. During your adventures, you'll be asked to make choices, blah 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 blah. Oh, cool. Oh. That's kind of cool. Okay. You won't be able to change the decisions you've made. However, the sum of your choices always leads to different scenarios. It's impossible to lose in Seer's Isle. Choose wisely. Okay. I was the wind. Time no longer existed. Disembodied solitude was my punishment. Oh, that sounds fun. This was the seers had decided. I saw the hearthland coat itself in purple flowers, and the grass yellow at Lithia. The leaves of 100-year oak trees reddening and falling to cover the mossy undergrowth with orange-brown mold. And the first snow of Yule. Not a living soul. I forgot who I was. That doesn't sound fun. Then they arrived. Chapter 1. Cliffs. Okay. We were nearing a beach. There, do you see it? There's an undercurrent. If we put in head-on, we won't have time to maneuver to avoid the reef. Oh, shit. I see it, but if we keep the sail full with the sea breeze, we should be fine, right? We're losing speed. If we don't do something, we'll drift towards the cliffs before we reach the shore. Listen, I don't want to be a killjoy, but have you seen the big black clouds? I think I just found me in this story. Connor looks towards the island with obvious concern. The rain begins to fall. This storm doesn't feel natural. They turn to look at Arlen. You're the sailor. What do we do? Well, I'm not sure. Whatever we do, we risk foundering on a reef or getting swept out to sea. If there's a collision, I'm not sure the boat can take it. It would be disastrous. The rain pours down and thunder rolls. Should we reduce the sails or force? Sure, we do this. Since I know nothing about sailing. Connor's sitting at the bottom of the boat, clinging to the rail. Yeah, I found me. The sea becomes more and more troubled. Losing no time, Duncan pulls a rope to trim the sails. The fragile skiff slows bit by bit, and everyone holds their breath. A few yards from the beach, the boat abruptly enlists starboard and picks up speed, drawing dangerously away from the shore. Okay. We're not gonna make it. Get the oars out. Ooh, there's a person named after my cat in this. Everyone works to fight against the current, but the ocean refuses to be mastered, and the boat continues to drift. It hits a sharp outcrop before a wave pushes it the other direction and carries them towards the beach. Good. Okay. Without hesitation, Eric leaps into the water and pulls the boat up before it can get caught in the backwash. Connor sees something out of the corner of his eye. Brandon is overboard. Oh, great. We'll leave him there. Far away, a silhouette is struggling against the current. Duncan is ready to jump into the water, but Arlen can still take the lead. Dodge. I'm started glad I'm not timed doing this. Arlen strips off everything that can slow her down and throws herself into the water. In the wind and rain, two silhouettes can barely be seen in the turmoil. Okay, how many people are there? Holy cow. Brandon, you must have fallen overboard when you hit the reef. Several times the swimmer disappears behind a wave, and Duncan has the time to wonder if she had drowned before she reappears. Finally, Arlen reaches Brandon and turns to make her way towards the shore. As soon as she's close enough to the beach, Duncan and Eric run to help her, carrying him out of the water. The two men carry him higher up the beach, out of reach of the waves, and lay him gently on the sand. Brandon is unconscious. Genevieve kneels and can't leave me on that part. Oops. He's unconscious, but he's still breathing. Well, that's good. She rummages through her bags and pulls out a brown glass vial. Lifting his head with one hand, she brings it under his nostrils with the other. Brandon opens his eyes, snap open, and he sputters and chokes. She helps turn him over on all fours while he vomits up a quality of salt water. Quantity, I can't read. Don't ever count on me to read anything, guys. She turns to the group. Ow. That's not it. His life isn't in danger. However, his leg is wounded. I'll have to bandage it straight away. Oh, I can see why they named her Freya. Okay, that works. Freya. We should make a fire to warm him up. Good idea. Besides, Arlen's soaked to the skin. Oh, I'm used to it. I'll go ahead and collect some wood. I don't plan to stay in these wet clothes. Yes, that's the best way to catch a fever. I'll see if I can find a way inland. Wait, what's Connor doing? Still hiding? The driving rain has lightened to a fine drizzle. Well, that's good. As if the Seers had willed this storm for their arrival. The beach is littered with wrecks, old and less old, and is surrounded by a high, pale stone cliff. Freya gets up to catch Eric while Arlen prepares to go seeking wood for the fire. I'm totally watching her. Eric moves away, but Freya calls to him. Wait, I'm coming with you. She runs a few strides to catch up with him. Eric watches her approach with scorn. Why are you scorning me? I warn you, I didn't intend to wait for you. In my clan, the women have better things to do than bothering with the hunters. That doesn't sound like things. In my clan, the men and women hunt together, even if the men are slower. That's the best answer I've ever heard. Eric grits his teeth and puts on a menacing hand on his sword. Listen, we don't have to like each other. But wouldn't it be better if we put aside our differences? Eric laughs. I wouldn't want to think you're right, so I'll keep my sword just for now. That didn't make any sense. Guys and their egos, what can we say? Let's head east. It doesn't look so steep that way. The two of them set off walking. Can I ask you a question? Yes. What's a warrior like you doing on the island of the Seers? I thought it was the women who acted as shamans with all the northern clans. Eric stops and stares out to sea. Not for us. My father was our clan's shaman. He was killed during a raid on Samhain. I made a vow to take his place to honor his memory. Aw, that's cute. Sorta. Kinda. I'm sorry, Freya said. You, the clan of the bear, you're protected by the forest and other clans, like mine, whose lands are closer to the ocean. It's us who are first to suffer the raids of the invaders from the sea. Those savages spare no one. Eric turns towards Freya. And you, what led you to become a shaman? My family was chosen to succeed Gurad, our shaman. Ah, I see. Is that a custom? Yes, in our clan, the shaman selects the person who will succeed them. It's a great honor. I hope one day I'll be good as a healer as Jennifer. I think that's her name. Guru did not have the time to initiate me in the art of herbalism. Eric burst out laughing. Think about that later. First, we have to survive the initiation. Did you see that storm? I've got a feeling the Seers aren't going to make life easy for us. I don't believe the Seers had anything to do with that storm. Still, the weather changing all at once like that, it's not natural. I don't know, there's no mention of that in any kind of test in the lore. And I don't believe that the Seers want to eliminate us before they give us a real chance of passing the initiation. Still, when you see all those wrecks on the beach... Freya stops at the foot of the cliff. Look, there's, Eric squints. Yes, looks like a path. What looked like a stair seemed to have delved into rock and snake up into the cliff's face. Oh great, we're in Skyrim now, just what we all needed. I think we found our way inland. But who would have built it? This must have taken a colossal task. Eric shrugs. Shall we go back and tell the others? Eric and Freya turn back. When they arrive at the camp, the group is huddling around a small fire drying off. Brandon seems to have come around. Connor wants to speak, but he hesitates when he sees Freya and Eric heading towards them. We found a path. There's a stair that climbs the length of the cliff. There's probably a frost hole in the middle of it. A stair? How is that possible? I thought this island had always been uninhabited. And even if, I don't know who could have built such a thing. Hundreds of steps carved into rock. Yep, I knew it. Skyrim. All I know is that there's a path, and I don't plan to take root here. You guys are all so charming. Jennifer, wait, I don't think it's wise to just charge ahead like that. Do the legends speak of the stairs? I don't think so. I've never read any mention of it. But you're right, it wouldn't be a bad idea to put what we know together. What do we know about the trials ahead of us? Freya suddenly speaks. She seems to be reciting something that she's learned by heart. We must reach the top of the mountain at the center of this island. Along the path we will have trials to overcome. The Seers will give the sacred flame to those who reach the summit. The sacred flame bestows the gift of second sight, of divination, and of healing to those who are worthy. After we rejoin our respective clans as Shaman. Freya lowers her eyes. Unfortunately, I know a little more. My mentor prepared me as well as she could, but she never told me what would happen on this island during her own initiation. The others were quiet. I have to admit, I can't add much more. Leif, the shaman of my clan, is the only one who returned from his expedition. He never spoke of it either. Brandon gets up and limps a few steps. I don't want to die here. If someone had told me if I'd... Brandon breaks off with a blank gaze. That does reassure him. Connor gets up and puts a hand on the carpenter's shoulder. There now, we're all in the same boat. Anyway, we're not going to leave you here all alone. With this wound, I'm going to slow you all down. I don't want to put the success of the whole group at risk. The injury isn't very deep and there's nothing broken. This time tomorrow, you'll be walking normally. In the meantime, we'll find you a walking stick and you'll be able to keep up. Freya looks doubtful. You haven't seen the stairs. It's really steep, and with the rain, the steps are probably going to be slippery. It'll take hours to get Brandon up that way. Brandon looks hopeless. To everyone's relief, Arlen speaks up. While we're collecting wood, Connor and I found a boat. A boat? You mean something that's not a wreck, right? Yeah, a bit further up behind a rock. The hull looks sound, but the sail is torn. Maybe we could use that to go around the island. Seeing as no one has heard about the stairs, there has to be another way, right? Are you sure this boat can go to sea? Sure. No, I couldn't say that, but I believe Brandon is a carpenter. Brandon, you'll be able to tell us if the boat is seaworthy, won't you? Yeah, no problem. We've been carpenters for generations, father to son in my family. I mean, I'm only the third son, but I might as well be capable as my older brothers. I know about boats. I'm used to this kind of work. Perfect. In that case, let's go see this boat. The group sets off. When they arrive at the other craft, Brandon sets to work checking its condition. He stoops under the hull and pulls a rope to check if it's sound. The others patiently wait while the carpenter checks everything. Eric, well? There's a bit of damage to repair if we want to go into open sea, but it should hold up if we stay close to the coast. Brandon hesitates. Connor, what is it? What are you not telling us? Well, I know it's impossible, but I think this is, well, our boat. Connor takes a few steps back to look at the craft, and it resembled it strikingly. But our boat is over there. How can this one be our boat? Brandon hobbles over to the prow and points to a rope. I don't know, but look. You see the paint there? It splits along the length, just like ours did. And there, on the forecastle deck, there's 2 matching boards with a heart-shaped sapwood on it. You can check, but I'm sure that's exactly the same on our craft. Duncan looks at the boat fascinated. Arlen is dismayed. And Eric looks serious. He always looks that way. At least from what I know. That being said, the good news is that our sail is the perfect size, seeing as the boats are identical. It's not worth the risk. If the boats are really identical, it might be a trick the Seers are playing on us. I think it would be wiser to take the stairs. I don't think we should consider that in our decision. Who's to say the Seers haven't given us a copy of our boat to help us? Duncan, if we believe the legends, this type of strange phenomenon is going to happen more and more often as we get closer to the summit. But the stairs seem safer to me. It's a sure way to get inland. Nothing guarantees we'll find a better way by sea. Besides, we should get going straight away. The longer we wait, the less distance we're going to cover before nightfall. I think if we're all agreed that we don't want to linger on this island... Easy, Duncan. Maybe we should ask everyone before making a decision, don't you think? Or we'll just make the person playing the game make the decision, because that's all this is boiling down to. Oops, that was out loud. Genevieve's right. Everyone should be able to say what they think. Frey and Eric exchange glances. Eric shakes his head. I think it would be better to look for another way by in the sea. Your stairs looked really dangerous. There's got to be a safer route. Plus, Brandon can't come with us if we take the stairs. With that wound, he'll slow us down a lot. Ahem, if you don't allow me to give my opinion, they all look at Brandon. It doesn't bother me to stay here. But you'd give up the trial. Listen, I think it's clear to everyone I'm not really made out to be a shaman. I promised my family to do my best to honor my clan, but still, I don't intend to die on this island. Leave me here with my share of the supplies, and I'll get by just fine. What about you, Connor? What do you think? Connor is taken unawares. He's not used to people asking him for his opinion. Yeah? What? Sorry? Arn and Freya want to take the boat. Eric and Duncan want to take the stairs. Brandon's fine with us leaving him here and taking the stairs. As for me, I think it would be wiser to find another way. It's up to you to decide, Connor. No! If he doesn't intervene, Eric will probably drive the group in taking the stairs, even if it means abandoning Brandon. Oh, I don't want to do that. Dang it. I think I'm going to have to say take the stairs. It seems like the Seers want us to take the stairs. As Eric said, the boat's probably a trick. It's too convenient. But that means we have to leave Brandon behind. Don't worry about me. A boat to men, supplies, who could ask for more? Duncan is at the foot of the stairs which snake up the cliff. Looking up, he feels a sudden dizziness. The stairs are narrow and irregular, and there's nothing to suggest that it would get worse as they climb. He regrets not taking the other choice, uncertain as it was. Duncan has always had a problem with heights, especially since his elder brother had left him hanging for several hours off the highest tower on his clan fortress one day. That sounds fun. Ah, yes, I see. There's no chance I'd make it to the top with my leg in this state. Duncan turns to Brandon. We've left you enough supplies for 5 or 6 days. I hope we'll be back before that. 5 or 6 days to get to the summit, to come back, that seems a little ambitious. But don't worry about me. As soon as my leg is better, I can fish and find berries. And I'll have plenty to do getting the boat repaired. Jennifer comes over. I've left everything for changing your bandage. You'll be careful, right? If you don't take care of that wound, it could get infected. Yeah, I'll be careful, I promise. She turns to Duncan. I'll probably be best to just go up in pairs, right? Good idea. In any case, we can't all just go at once. I'll go up at the tail with Eric if that suits you. He might have trouble getting up with his size. I'll need to show him where to put his feet. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm used to this kind of path. My clan's lands are very hilly. We use similar routes to get to the valley. Do you feel up for taking the lead? Duncan hesitates a moment, but puts on a brave face. Yeah, no problem. It's fine. Someone has to take the lead, after all. Perfect. I'll let you choose your own partner, of course. Trust my instinct. Duncan prefers to trust his own instincts, and with his fear of hives, he'll have to rely a lot on his partner. Freya seems like a reliable, level-headed girl. And then again, Arlen is a fisher. She must have a good sense of balance, too. Duncan turns to the others, trying to decide. Ask Arlen, ask Connor, I'm gonna ask Freya, because Freya's cute. I have great logic, yeah. Right, let's start the ascent. Safest way is to go up in pairs. Jennifer is going at the tail with Eric. Eric gives a determined nod and stands next to her. I'll take the lead. Freya, will you partner with me up the climb? Freya fixes Duncan with a cold stare. He has the feeling that she knows something is wrong, like a predator smelling fear of its prey. He's not reassured, but he can't back out now and change partners. Okay, I'll go first, or do you want to take the lead? I'll go in front, or you go in front, I'll follow. Didn't read. Freya starts up the stairs without least hesitation. I would not want to climb those stairs. At the beginning, the ascent is relatively easy. Duncan focuses on his partner's back and on his own footsteps, clinging to the rock face and avoiding looking down. But little by little, the steps become more and more precarious. In some places where the erosion has been severe, he's forced to jump across gaps. Freya herself doesn't seem bothered at all by the altitude and the uneven terrain. She goes up slowly but surely, blind to the difficulties of her partner. At one point, Duncan almost slips. He sees his life flash before his eyes. He freezes against the rock face with his breathing short. We could ask for help or master our fears. Duncan refuses to allow himself to be paralyzed by fear. With his supreme effort of will, he climbs one step, then another. He realizes that Freya has climbed much farther ahead. He's seeing stars, but he grits his teeth and slips on a slick stone and cannot help but cry out, "No!" This time Freya hears him and turns. After gauging the situation, she backtracks down to her partner's level. Are you okay? Not really. I think I may have overestimated my capabilities. Are you afraid of hives? Duncan nods. You should have told me. I would have paid more attention. Duncan tries to reassure her with a timid smile. Never mind. I'll stay close to you. It'll be fine. You'll see. Duncan feels more and more confident, but he knows that the panic could return at any moment. There's something that puzzles me. Really? What? If I'm to believe the emblem on your shield, you're a member of the Wolf Clan. Yes? Why? Your lands are on the foothills of the Mountains of the Bears, right? Yes. Our fief is on the southern slope. If you live in the mountains, how can you be so afraid of hives? Well, thanks. I live in the mountains. I'm still scared of hives. Oh, it's not as steep as this at home. Well, let's just say I haven't always had this problem. Freya's silent, fixing Duncan with an uncomfortable stare. After a moment, he feels compelled to add, let's just say something happened to me a long time ago. And since then, hives make me go to pieces. In that case, it's a fear you can conquer. Duncan tries a wary smile. I wish it were as simple as that. It is. Fear is not in the night or in the bear's claw. It resides in your heart. Duncan doesn't know what to say. He would like to be capable of such will and such control. There's a little nook a little higher. Come on, a few more steps and we can take a break. When Duncan reaches the small natural plateau in the rock, he lets himself slump in the alcove and finally relax. He's quickly joined by the rest of the group, who take advantage of the break to stretch their legs and sit down for a few moments. Jennifer comes over. What happened, Duncan? You stopped for a long time. Duncan felt dizzy. We had to take a break for him to recover. There's still a way to go. Will you be okay? Duncan nods, even though he's not sure of himself. Connor comes over. I'll take it from here. Are you sure I can keep going? I don't mind. Yeah, you can carry on with Arwen. I'll take care of Duncan. They continue their ascent. I watch them climb the stairs towards the heartland with the bay from the whales. The sun rose in the sky. The Simsu world in the air had welcomed them into the sacred lands of the islands. I wish I could move this thing so I could read everything up top. Frey is at the head of the convoy, followed by that other girl whose name I can't remember because I can't read it right now. The two young women continue in silence, scalping step after step, lightly and easily. After a long moment, Frey is halted by Erlin's voice telling her to slow down. Do you need a break? No, I'm okay, but look, I think we're leaving the others behind. In fact, Jennifer and Eric are some way below, and Connor and Duncan still have not passed the turn on the cliff and are even further behind. Erlin points up. It's wider up there. We can sit down and wait for the others. Alright. Freya crosses the last few meters and sits with her back against the cliff. In front of her is a magnificent panorama of a cove of a golden sand stretching towards the horizon. But what fascinates her are the gigantic bones which are strewn all over the land on the bay. Some are scattered on the ground, others point towards the sky like teeth. She finds it hard to believe that an animal that size could exist. When she was small, she had heard the clan had taken her on a pilgrimage in the mountains. In a painted cave which retraced the history of her clan, there was also the remains of an animal of remarkable size, but that was nothing in comparison. Gerdred had explained to her that it was the skeleton of a woolly, I guess that's like a woolly mammoth, only a Lithiant. Yeah. They have the weirdest words in this game. The gigantic... Yeah. Maybe I just can't talk. Gigantic beast that ancestors were hunted and revered at the dawn of time. But it had vanished when the ice retreated from the world and the clan had chosen a new totem. Arlen joins her and sits down next to her. Looks like whale skeletons. Freya turned to her partner, intrigued. Whales? Are they some kind of monsters? Arlen laughs. Oh, they're not monsters. They're a type of sea animal. They're not aggressive. Freya has trouble picturing an animal, kind of fish, perhaps. We see them in open seas sometimes, in fall and spring. Arlen looks serious, but I'm surprised to see men with so many stranded in the same place. They rarely come this close to shore. You know, in my village, it's a sacred animal. It's forbidden to fish for them. In any case, to fish that, you would need a really, really big hook, right? The two girls laugh. Arlen points at a big, oblong bone lying a little further away on the sand. That, though, that comes from a real sea monster. Oh, yes, it's not a whale bone, that one. No, I think it's a cuttlefish bone, but I've never seen one as big as that. The ones we catch are little, but this one must have been massive. Arlen shows the size with her fingers. What's a cuttlefish? A bit like a squid. There's a problem with that. They don't have bones. Unless you're counting that one major one. Oh well. These strange words don't convey much to Freya. How can I explain? It's sort of a fish with 8 tentacles. Like arms, if you like, and it walks on its head. Do you see? Arlen tries to imitate the animal with limited success. Freya keens that the sea is surely full of mysteries, but it's delicious to eat. If we pass the initiation, you can come to sea in my village. I'll prepare you some. I mean, if you want. I'll totally do that. Freya's about to accept the invitation, but then Eric interrupts. So, are you tired? Not at all, but you must be if all that lagging behind. Haha, never. Ah, finally we're getting near. I thought it would never end. We've done the hardest part. The slope is gentler after all. Connor and Duncan are nearly here. Shall we carry on? The group sets off again. The slope is getting easier. They can go two at a time without risking to fall. The stairs stop in the path which runs along the last meters of the slope. Okay. Duncan is recovered and overtakes everyone. Freya thinks he must be in a hurry to finally get away from the perspective. Connor follows close behind, his face anxious. He's no doubt worried that Duncan may make a misstep and fall so close to their doom. Duncan and Connor disappear around a bend in the path. There's a stifled cry. The rest of the group hasten their pace. Connor points up to a figure above the cliff. Freya looks. There's a child at the entry to the Heartland. His small body is covered by a patterned tunic and is motionless. His face is hidden under an elaborately decorated wooden mask and conceals the intentions of this strange being. But the most disturbing thing is that it seems to have... But most disturbing, at least, is its antlers that seem to grow from the creature's skull. Yeah, I need to fix that. The young group does not know how to react. Connor looks terrified. The others seem transfixed to unexpected presence. After a long moment, the child slowly turns and vanishes towards the inland. When they reach the top of the cliff, a desolate plain stretches before them, covered in high grass and heather. Oh no, there's more than one of me! Further away in the mist, the summit can be seen. Suddenly, the wind rises, lifting their cloaks and hair. The sun disappears beneath a shroud of volatile colors. Yeah. The antlered child is gone. Chapter 2. Although between you and me, I think 30 minutes of our thing is enough for everybody right now. So if you want to hear more chapters, just let me know. There only seems to be 7 of them, I think. Anyway, I'm enjoying the story after I fix my ability to read everything properly because the bar is in the way. Anyway, if you're enjoying the story, leave a like, let me know, and I'll tape another one of them. Either way, I think it's a fun little game. And I will see you all next time. Laters.